The broadcast is live. Here we are. Welcome to LinkedIn Live at the Esports Trade Association. We are so happy to have you join us. Today is such an exciting show with our membership chair, Rebecca Dixon, and the coach of the most, Sharon Gill. I'm your host, Megan Van Petten. I'm the founder of the Esports Trade Association. Welcome, ladies.
Hey.
Hi,
Hey.
thanks. Excited to be here.
Rebecca, it's good to see you today.
Good to see you too, Sharon.
This is my second time seeing Meg for the day, so
It never gets boring. And like Sharon's secret is that she wears a different shirt for every meeting practically. She has so much fun. She's like the Wondrous of Wonder Women.
That's awesome. That's a good strategy, Sharon. Maybe I'll try to incorporate that.
it helps me not to be bored with my own self on Zoom.
Tell me about it. I think we all are.
Yeah.
Great. Well, really happy to be here and talk about Esports Trade Association, membership, and everything else.
Awesome. Well, we know that you're doing the utmost for the membership committee, and so we want to talk a little bit about that. About how you think it's going. What would you have to say to new members as a chair of the membership committee, and of course as one of our board members as well. And we're going to talk a little bit later too about the elevator pitch that you won. But for now, we're going to talk about membership.
Well, of course we have to have Sharon bring up the pitch because she's teaching the workshop and it's her favorite thing. And we have different people dropping in each day. But yeah, first and foremost, Rebecca, hello everyone, and let's talk about your role here.
Sure. So yeah, I'm really honored and thrilled to be on the board of the Esports Trade Association. I come here as co-founder and CEO of the Gamehers, and so we are in the esports industry, and so we have a lot of incentive to make sure that as the industry grows, all of the appropriate things that should be thought about are being thought about, and we want to create do what we can to help the trade association grow and thrive. As head of the membership committee, I'm going to not just read our mission, but paraphrase it. We want to make sure that current members have an experience that is in line with what we are trying to provide and what they would find valuable. And we're trying to get new members because like in any industry, a trade association will thrive more fully with representation from all different parts of the industry, all different levels of people. And we're just, it's still a young industry. So it's certainly a young trade association. And I think I would say, the Esports Trade Association has so many things that are really thriving and going well. And I would say getting new members at the levels that we would like to be is very transparently not one of those things. We're trying to figure out how to reach more people and share the value that it's provided for some of us. So on the membership committee, we've talked about a lot of different strategies to get new members, everything from doing maybe a better job than we are of conveying the value in membership to reaching people who haven't heard about us yet and everything in between. So I'm excited to talk about it, and that's a recap.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned a few key things. And Meg, I'm going to have you jump in about Rebecca's particular benefit starting back a couple of years ago. But something that Rebecca said that I think is important for our listeners, which are, by the way, the bunch of you guys chiming in. Hey, Gordon from my elevator pitch class. Good to see you here. Nick Turner, Tommy Dunn, Dr. Amy Kriz, Nate, Laura, thanks for coming. Selena, thank you guys for jumping on here. But you said something very important, that we are a trade association. So we're not like anyone else. We're not better, we're not worse, but we are different in that we are member driven, right? We are member based. And so we exist as a 501c6 to serve members. So we're all about members, all about getting members to the table, member value, enhancing the industry, bettering the industry. And it's the people that's going to make us great, right? So we have a big tent, a huge tent. Everyone in the esports industry, whether you're endemic to the space or non-endemic to the space, it doesn't matter, are just curious. You have a place at the table here because we are totally membership focused. And it's just been a delight for me to keep focusing in on our members. We meet literally, I'm with the team almost every day, just talking about how can we enhance and better the lives of our members. That's all we talk about around the table. What can we do for members?
Yeah.
So for anyone watching, that's what we're all about. And we welcome you to the conversation, because sometimes it's not the, one of my favorite saying, it's not the critic who counts, but it's the man in the arena, right? So we invite you to come into the arena with us at ESTA and help us to lift this industry, because that's what we are here to do. And that's my soapbox from the coach.
I love that. And, Sharon, I love how you describe us as the big tent, because whenever I hear that description, Rebecca, I always think of an outdoor, kind of like a family reunion, how we used to have. My mom has 11 or 10 brothers and sisters. And once a summer we would meet outside, and there would be this tent in case it rains. And, and it was just this big, huge family reunion. And that's how it truly feels. People oftentimes ask like, well, so what industry should join? And I say all. And, but what would be the most beneficial? And I say, everyone. If you're in esports, you should join the trade association. So, yeah. And I've never in all the years heard it described as the big tent. It's just, I almost feel like someday we should have that in some sort of a logo.
I think so.
And Rebecca, one of the things I just have to say why you're the chairman is because you just get it so holistically. I know you grew up with your dad being a really big advocate with trade associations, and he's been such a great example. And I'll just never forget when we first talked and you shared that, and you really bring it. Like, you really understand the giving back, and we really value and appreciate your, just great big heart for community. And yeah, if you want to share a little bit more about your personal why and gamers and how and why you joined, but
Sure.
you made an impression on me since the first time we ever talked.
Yeah. So, from a experience with trade associations, I grew up in a family where my dad ran, he was the chairman of one of the trade associations in his industry growing up. And so I just knew a lot about how they worked and understand the value of them. How I got to the ESTA from the gamers' perspective is that we entered the pitch competition, the elevator pitch competition, and we were lucky enough to win. And
stop one second there, because I see some students on the line and I need them to tune in right here. That's Gordon, right? He's in the current pitch class. He's pitching this next month. And Jill is a judge. She's also on the line. So Jill and Gordon, I want to really pique your interest right here, as Rebecca was one of our first winners of the pitch competition. She's going to talk about how that went for her. So yeah. It
was great. Well, first of all, it was during COVID, so it was virtual, but it was such a fun experience. We went through all of the process leading up to the actual pitch competition, and then during the live, virtual live portion of it, it was great because it was a really neat opportunity to see the other companies who were pitching, all of whom were excellent, and I've been able to keep in touch with some of them. And of course, winning was fun. I mean, it's voting, so we were really thankful to have won, and the doors that opened for us were meaningful. And I always like to say, because I am a big believer in community, I'm also a big believer in the rolling effects of community. So if I meet somebody now through however I meet them, and I'll say like, okay, who introduced me to that person? And then who introduced me to that person? And who introduced me to that person? there are a lot of people who I might still be meeting now that if I roll that back far enough, go to somebody who either judged in the pitch competition, was in the audience, was one of the other competitors, and then subsequently winning that pitch competition is also what led me to join the ESTA. And so it was just one moment in time when I heard about the pitch competition because I think I saw it on my own social media. And I thought, oh, I'm going to enter this. And then that was that. And then here we are today.
Here we are today as a board member and as the chair of the membership committee. And I mean, I'm just so glad that you shared that because we talk about membership, right, to the audience who is watching. And I see a lot of our members on the feed. John Sarmi, hi, welcome to the show. I see a lot of members on the feed. And it's just, I think you also get out what you put in anything at all, right? Mm-hmm. So we have, Meg, how many committees do we have? I think we have like 7 committees there at EST or 8. And we're always forming committees. But if you're a member and you're not taking part in a committee, you're going to miss out on networking. I know Megan and John do an amazing job with the coffee networking. They have an evening networking, and people have really met really nice connections there. So you're going to take out what you put in. All right. We have an elevator pitch workshop right now. And like I said, a couple of my students are here on this live, but it's open to everyone, right? But only a few show up. And it's free to members. Yeah. It's $600 to non-members, but it's free to members. It's a free, it's 8 weeks that we're together. We're practicing and we're pitching and, and all of that stuff. But it's a member benefit. And so, I just can't, underestimate the value that we give.
Okay, I have to interrupt because first off, Sharon's the best coach in the world. I have brought her to the world as my coach, and trust me, that was very humbling. And she does, whip you into shape so well. She's a mirror for us. She's there to see our blind spots. That's what coaches are for. They're here to elevate and lift us. So the pitch class, the reason why I love it is whether you come to class 1 and attend them all, or you stop in at the last class and sharpen your own saw. You're welcomed. Just like you too, Rebecca. I love your style as well for the committee. You're right, Sharon. There's almost 10 committees.
Yes.
Sharon try to divide and conquer, and then we have terrible FOMO at the end of the day. I'm like, do you want to take a walk and talk? Because we want to catch up as to what happened, but we can't be everywhere. So I encourage anyone to reach out to the office, simply go online and join, try it, but don't miss this opportunity if you're raising funds. I wish I could see everyone on LinkedIn right now, but if I asked a show of hands as who could use extra money or who could use extra work or who could use extra clients, who doesn't raise their hand? That's what the pitch is about, is getting on court. And maybe you're not on a raise, but you're looking for partners, or maybe you're on a small raise or a big raise, but it's Shark Tank under the tent with people that are here to support and lift you up. And you've done a great job of the ripple effect, Rebecca, yes. Being a winner and giving back. It's chilling.
Yeah.
Yes. Talk to us about that.
Put on the company resume, as you're fundraising and as you're doing other things, to be able to say that we won the Esports Trade Association pitch competition it means something. So yeah, it was a great moment. And it led here. So for that, I will always be grateful.
And you've always said that, Rebecca. You always demonstrated that. Tell us a little bit about what gamers are. What are you guys up to nowadays? Tell us what you guys are doing now. What are you all up to?
Sure, we are up to a lot. I'll say first off the bat. Speaking of fundraising, we are in the middle of fundraising, and we've decided to diversify our ownership and kicked off a crowdfund. And we're so excited about that because after being around for 2.5 years and raising a significant amount of money through traditional investors, we thought, wouldn't it be fun to create a situation where our own community could actually participate in ownership of our company. So we've been sharing it on social, but I would love to I will share it again. And it's a really great, way for us to be able to have an additional tie to our community. So that's one thing that we're doing. And the reason we're doing that is we have a lot going on at this exact moment in time that we would love to expand upon. And that in order to do that, we need additional resources. And so right around the corner, our 3rd annual Gamers Awards are launching. The nominations will kick off in early August. So that's always a great opportunity. We've had the awards for 2 years, and this 3rd year we have every expectation will be just as impactful as the first 2 and grow upon them. So that's a big thing. Our app is, launched earlier this year. It has over 15,000 members. Wow. And is really
impressive.
So thank you. So for those of you who haven't downloaded our app, it's really the community that exists there is really special. So that's super exciting for us always. And we have a collegiate Discord and a collegiate community that is really thriving. Of course, college is so important in this space. So if you're not in our collegiate Discord, please join. And other than that, we're just always looking for ways to stay as on top of what's happening in our community. I mean, we are builders of space for communities to come together. Mm-hmm. And by saying women and femme-identifying gamers and women-centered spaces, of course, everybody is welcome in our community. We're just creating the places and the space, and then the community kind of creates itself. It's not totally unlike the ESTA. So we're always looking back to feedback and engagement, comments, all of it to figure out what's percolating, like what should we do next? And so really lots of exciting things. I guess the last thing I'll say is there is always such a high concentration of discussion in all of our spaces around jobs. And so when the intersection of women who game and women who either work in or would like to work in this industry, it's a very strong intersection. And so we're always creating new ways and opportunities to facilitate those connections, both on our app and on our website, and even just manually through I get outreach on LinkedIn from companies hiring. So really excited to be here and be able to share a little bit about what we're doing. And again, I just will say that being a part of the ESTA has been a really important piece of getting to where we are.
Awesome. And you have a lot of fans out there. I see them in the feed. They love the gamers. They love the app. They love the community. So you're doing a great job as a leader. I know it has to be hard. And I know your growth has, to me, I've been watching it online as well. It just seems to me that the last 2 years, it's been like astronomical, right? It's like,
yeah, we launched in March of 2020. So the day that we went live was the day that the CDC declared COVID a pandemic. So it's been quite a journey since then. And I'm always really happy to say that, we are not the only people talking about women in gaming. It was being done before we were around, and it's been done since, and it's been done in conjunction with us. And so there's room for everybody. And what's been really neat about our growth is that we've been able to work with so many other people, entities, brands, publishers, orgs, all the different pieces of the industry that we feel need to come together to really move the needle for women in gaming. It's also a lot of the same types of companies that are members of this trade association. And it requires the involvement and dedication of each of those pieces. And so it's been fun to just collaborate, and it kind of all ties together. We have a community, we're curating a network of communities, and we're just trying to grow so that we can keep growing this purpose, mission-based company.
Yeah. And I make wants to talk a lot, wants to jump in about that, our upcoming event conference in Chicago, Meg's baby. But I just want to say one thing about that, about what you said, that you began in 2020 for people who are listening, right? You mentioned you had like 15,000 people on your app, and that's in the space of 2.5 years. So I just want to congratulate you on that and to encourage that would-be entrepreneurs trying to get into this space that a lot of hard work does pay off, because I know you work very hard, Rebecca, and you didn't get to 15,000 just sitting on the couch. That you actually, you do. I see you everywhere. So I just want to show people what's possible if you put the time in. Just like Megan over here, she's constantly on the run too. The hardest working woman in esports, Megan Van Penton.
You know what? I love it. I do a lot. Share. Thank you. You're very generous with your compliments. Here's something I noticed about both of you as well. And first, I'll say, Rebecca, what's so cool is the team of gamers. You guys owned another company before, right? And then you guys got together and started this. Here's why I love that, because people that play together stay together. People, me and Sharon follow the fun. If it wasn't fun, we really try very hard even to make challenging moments, lessons, and fun. And tell us a little bit, Rebecca, about how you did that, because that's amazing, and it speaks to partnership. It speaks to truly character. What you have all done as a team and community, and the reason I bring that up is because if Rebecca can't make it, you get Verda, and Verda was just on our show yesterday. I think we shared that social media. I know I saw it passing through, but what a team! It's like what me and Sharon have going on. Me and Sharon and John. So what's your secret sauce there, Rebecca?
Well, I think it's about level of respect and figuring out how you work together. And the company that we were a part of before this, my two of my co-founders, Laura Deutsch, founded a company called Baby Bites. It evolved into Mommy Bites, which Heather Awita co-founded with her. And then I joined them because I had experience in advertising and sponsorships, and they had a lot of brands approaching them who wanted to work with them. And so they were the original founders, and then I joined them in that capacity, and we were able to ultimately sell the company. And so I think at that point in time, we were like, this is great. We love to work. We love working together. What's next? And through a series of, coincidences, things that were happening in the world, adjacencies to the esports industry on multiple levels, we ended up identifying a place in this industry where we felt like we could apply our community building skills, along with Verda Maloney, who you just mentioned, and Verda's experience tied right into what we had experienced doing, and she has the additional experience of a really strong and deep career across DEI, in universities and nonprofits and through her own company. And so weaving that in with our experience at our old company, which I don't know if I mentioned was in the parenting space, but still around building community around women, we thought maybe this would be something. Now, that being said, we had a lot of things going for us when we launched. We launched at COVID happened. I think the social justice movement momentum came at good timing for us. We, the publishers in the summer of 2020 had some real public challenges. And so we were a nice solution to that. But what I also think is that we really got a lot of support. I am a big believer in networking, community building. We all are. And, I would say to anybody who's here listening, thinking about starting their own company, it's about so many things. Hard work is possibly number one, and teamwork. So, the four of us have worked together for quite a long time now and are really just thrilled to be on this journey and in this industry and hopefully making a difference as well as building a company.
Yeah, that's awesome. Megan mentioned me, her, and John. We work very well together, and I think one of our secrets is we like each other, first of all, right? But also too, we each have we have strong areas. We call it lanes.
Yes.
And so, stay in that lane. Not that we can't go over and dabble, but there's certain things that Megan's just really strong at, certain things I'm really strong at, certain things John's really strong at, and we respect each other's strengths,
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned about starting in the pandemic. So you said there were great things that happened, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, that's how you see it. But the pandemic for other people was terrible, right? And the social justice was tough. But I always hear this thing in leadership that you can't, in every tough situation, in every tough time in history, there's winners and losers, right? There's winners and losers. So you were able to capitalize in a good way on the things that were going wrong in this country, right? And build a company out of it. And other people folded.
Yeah.
At home, right? So again, for people who are watching, it's a matter of attitude and your choices that you're making. Not to say people who closed made a wrong choice, but here you were building a business in one of the toughest times possible.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly had challenges. We thought that at the beginning, we had live events as a big part of our strategy out of the gate. And because when I say we launched along with the pandemic, of course, a lot of planning had gone into that moment. And then a lot of pivoting happened immediately. But that being said, you're absolutely right. I mean, another example of that's very real for, I think, so many people in this exact moment is the economy. It's a little depressing if you open up any financial news right now and you're trying to start a startup. But just do that. Then do a quick Google search for what successful companies started during financial downturns, and that will motivate you because there are a lot. So, yeah.
That couldn't be better parting wisdom as we close out of here today. There's a word Sharon refuses to use as our coach around here, and it starts with an R and it ends with an N. I don't know, Sharon, do you remember? Recession.
Yes.
It's like, we are not participating. No. We're a community. We are shoulder to shoulder. We stand under this tent together, and we just don't use the word. And with that parting wisdom, I would like to invite everyone listening to Esports Next, August 22nd and 23rd in Sweet Home, Chicago. Please be our guest and join us for an abundance of amazing things. We have a Wrigley Field ball game. We have a rooftop at the WIT networking event that's amazing. We have panels and panels of amazing content and influencers and leaders. We have an awards lunch. It goes on and on. It's presented by Morgan Stanley. Encore is doing the production that's going to be so jazzy to show us the latest and greatest hot things. I could go on and on about everyone. Every member and attendee this year is receiving our very first member jersey. With that, I have to say goodbye. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Great to see you, but thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Gordon, for that nice note.
Yeah.
So passionate. Thank you so much. See, this is the elevator pitch people. They're the best. Bye.
They are. See y'all in Chicago.
They are the best.
All righty.
Bye.
We made time.